Lewis and Trumpet of the Swan. Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah, that's how Samara laughs. She laughs like,
really? Oh
Yeah.
my God. So how are you doing with her?
There's no relationship. I mean, I'm going to try hard not to deal with it for as long as I possibly can.
But I mean, is she provoking you? Is it an anti-relationship?
I don't know what you call it, but yeah, something like that, I suppose.
I mean, does she try to antagonize you in a
pathological way? She tells me she loves me all the time, but then when I tell her I can't afford to get her a specific present, she tells me to go kill myself. Fuck her.
Yeah.
I don't think that's cool or funny, actually.
Okay.
I mean, it's just that, she knows my history. How dare her tell me that? Yeah. Plus, she clowns the fact that my family left me nothing. Fuck her. Mm-hmm. I don't fucking give a shit about her anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If she's going to treat me like that, I'm going to completely reject her. I mean, I don't deserve that.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. Okay. A brief video of the Walmart management training program their women go through. Wait a minute. Their women go through? What? The other part of their training consists of how they're taught to bully disabled men out of their store with the pleas. Keep soldiering on their Walmart. Says, with faith in our hearts and strength in our steps, we march in unison. I know. So is this supposed to be like North Korean or Chinese or what?
Chinese.
Okay. Okay. So Mooky McMookerson is at Marple Sports Arena in Brummel. You know what? There was this one girl on this paid dating site, which I couldn't afford, but she was like a speech pathologist, and she was from Brummel, and she said she dated every kind of guy possible. And of course, she was the only one who replied. Of course, couldn't read the reply unless I subscribed. But I mean, Kevin Colley used to tell me that the best thing to do is see if there's a sneaky way that you could find out, who they are and where they live, and find them on Facebook, basically, and if you can't afford a dating site, because I mean, obviously, I mean he's aware that there's a lot of people who actually, still want to date and are willing to, try anything, because like I said before, it's about, the hope that something might work out rather than the fear of something not working out preemptively. Anyway. Oh, Marple Sports Arena. How do you know about Marple Sports Arena? Did you live in the Philly area?
I just wanted to come across like I was somewhere relating to the topic of what I wrote, so I just picked up Brummel.
See, it's supposed to be. You mean because it looks like broom?
No, because I was talking about sports, and I wanted to choose a topic to make it appear like I was somewhere else.
Isn't curling played with brooms?
I don't know, dude.
But whenever I see that name, it makes me think of like, that scene from the Sorcerer's Apprentice part of Fantasia, where he uses the broom to sweep Mickey out of his wizarding room. or like if you see like a mouse and then you like broom it out of the room or something like that, and say shoo. I forget what movie that one's from. All right, anyway, but I knew somebody from Marple Township. I just can't remember the name. I think they were probably from Pennsylvania Governor's School for Teaching or something like that. Anyway, but a very ritzy area, of course. How do you know it was a ritzy area? Okay, never mind. Look at this wealthy, humble American pig, high on his own stuck-up rich boy American arrogance as he gets blown by you, the sports worshiper. Then again, humiliated. So keep tuning in and look at that big, hard, greasy, wealthy American cock, sports sips. Well, you know what? The trouble with Jon Stewart had a picture of Andrew Tate basically like bowing down to the guy who beat him, and then he had another picture of a loser bowing down to a winner, basically hugging the other guy's legs or whatever, but he was arguing, that's what Trump supporters are like, I think, essentially. But anyway, so here you have a picture of a guy who's like not wearing his shirt and is in a luxury airplane seat, presumably private, and has lots of luggage stacked in the back up to the ceiling, and has what do you call it when those bonded dollar bills that are bonded together with that strap? What's it called again?
I don't know, but
anyway,
the bastard works in money.
Yeah, bundles of like say $100 bills, lying all over the place in the plane. Okay, so then, oh, you didn't design this. One America designed this. Who's One America? It says, well. It looks like Walmart truly does lack a human conscience. How surprising. It says low standards every day. People matter more than low prices. Mm-hmm. But you don't know who that One America organization is, right?
No.
Okay. Okay. Says, I would neither waste good piss or waste valuable finger energy dialing 911 to put out a fire at Walmart. These are the hashtags. Fuck Walmart, Walmart fascism, fuck your trespass, Walmart Nazis, effort of Walmart, burn baby, burn sizzle. When did this happen? Do you know when this happened? In which?
I think it was in the. Where they call that, the Covington store? I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Looks like the thing had 2 floors or something.
I don't know.
That's wild. Unless like the warehouse is right next to the store or whatever. That's wild. Oh, and I noticed that the one photo says coverage you can count on. Almost a little bit of Schadenfreude there. We love to cover other people's disasters. Especially big institutional leadership kind of people who lord it over us, right? Okay. Mooky McMookerson is at Walmart corporate office. Walmart store management / Walmart management has a strange sexual fetish for targeting men who have a developmental disability, ordering them to leave their property, and then calling the police on them. Somebody with a working brain up in their head needs to let Walmart corporate HQ know that it is a gross civil rights infringement for picking out a man who has an obvious intellectual disability and cruelly bullying them with the cops and then cruelly trespassing them. To allow Walmart to get away with this reckless policy of targeting people whom they know cannot afford a private attorney to help them when they get a letter of trespass. Oh my goodness. The website is walmartfacts.com?
Yep.
Wow. Well, I suppose if facts don't care about your feelings, well then there probably would be no America, because people who were vulnerable fled Europe to come to America for freedom, and now all the problems that people wanted to escape from, well, basically a government in America has been established that that resembles all of the problematic European governments that came before it.
Yeah.
And maybe even all the problematic ancient governments that came before it, because there are many occultists in every nook and cranny of every corner of the world, and um, Jordan Maxwell's theory was that that they were playing around with words and just throwing around words like fascism and communism, which really don't really mean all that much, because they both mean the same thing, even though they're portrayed as opposites. but in essence, they're the very same thing, because they all lead to centralized leadership, which becomes oppressive. Anyway. So the thing is, the idea is to have more resources and less government, because one of the chief purposes of government seems to be to keep us in debt by making us think that we can earn things, and then deliberately, after we have the kids, the house, and the car, putting us into really detrimental crisis situations, shock doctrine, neoliberalism, as they sometimes call it, to try and force us to our knees, so that we can't think of anything but just keeping up what we already have. We can never downsize, can we? All the suburban people are like, we can never downsize, because then we'll become like those trash in the city, won't we? We have to show that we're better than everybody, that we're more religious and moral than everybody, and it's like, a lot of Black Latino churches are like twice or thrice as strict as white churches. I mean, like, the kind of stuff that white kids let their kids get away with all the time. Oh my God. And you'd ask a white person who lived during the 70s, all the different things you could do as a prank. You could get away with so much stuff. You could basically, you could do hazing, basically put a whole bunch of phone books blocking the way to somebody's office or something crazy like that. I mean, obviously now that's considered bullying and traumatic stuff and stuff like that. But like, you could be like profane, and you could be whatever, sexist or racist in your language, or any kind of that, and then like, and then it would be like, oh well, we know they're only joking. They're just letting off some steam, some angry old white disabled man, perhaps, like Richard Doherty. Anyway, attention, BBB/Better Business Bureau, Walmart HQ /Walmart Corporate /Walmart Stores Inc. /WGAL News Channel 8 /Heather L. Adams DA /Heather Adams DA /Heather Adams /Lancaster County Courthouse /BHDS. Let me burp real quick. Okay. Alfred Walmart made a false report to Walmart Corporate HQ, telling them that I made a so-called bomb threat in their store the night of 21st November 2025. This occurred on this specific night when the store management team targeted me as a developmentally disabled man and wrongfully trespassed me from their store. Wait a minute. So have you actually seen the report? Does it actually?
No, it was admitted to me by the customer service or the customer relations agent I spoke to on the phone yesterday.
Holy shit!
They said that one of them said that I made a bomb threat, and that was false. A false statement. They lied.
Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness! You know what it is? It's that thing where you have to where you use your the power vested in your authority, to make a statement, knowing you'll be believed because of your authority and because of your socioeconomic status, your pre-existing privileged socioeconomic status. So the thing is, that person used their status to be able to, for the lie to be taken as truth, because we know that, if Nazi and Hitler and fascist, are becoming useless, things like, pedophile and terrorists and stuff like that are becoming useless, because everybody knows that it really means nothing, because only the occult governments can actually get away with stuff. I bought a book about something called the Anglo-American Establishment, which explains why both British and American authorities often engage in child trafficking, like Jeffrey Epstein and stuff like that. So, but basically all they have is their ethos. It's their word against yours, and if they're in an important position, you know, uh, they nobody will ever do anything to them, and that's also what a lot of white supremacists used to use. Well, they were like, if everybody agrees with me, that black guy is the bad guy, and that I'm the good guy, well then nobody can do anything to me, and nobody will do anything to me because they're all my friends, and and they will automatically be the enemy of that outsider of any kind, even in the most liberal of spaces. They will believe anything they are told if it's told to them the right way. The big lie. Anyway, this occurred on the specific night when the store management team targeted me as a developmentally disabled man and wrongfully trespassed me from their store. These disgusting people then cruelly called the Effort Police Department on me, which scared me, and they harassed me all the way to the bus stop, making me feel bullied and targeted. I'm an autistic man who is stricken with an intellectual disability, and I was cruelly picked out and targeted none other than for the simple reason that I am different. I maintain a unique aviation-centered style, and because they knew that I was unable to afford a private attorney to assist me with this case. So the store manager, Carol Ann, then cruelly called up the Walmart store 2334 and informed them that I was trespassed, and then they 2334 used the info to cruelly expel me from their property because of her, and right before Christmas. Disgusting, cruel, and entirely fascist. Never mind the fact that my civil rights were infringed upon, due to the fact that I had never been given any reason on 21st November as to precisely why I had been trespassed. I think Walmart customer care and store is specifically in the toilet bowl and have no human conscience when it comes to properly handling a man who has a known and obvious developmental health conditions. Now Walmart is cruelly calling me up like some obnoxious, obsessive twat, reminding me that I'm trespassed, and now I shall never, ever accept another call from any Walmart store again. The photos below depict the effort of Walmart management team, and some of whom made the false claim to corporate that I made a bomb attack. How dare they? Let's see. Okay. Gee, see, this is where Richard should have really joined in the conversation, because I'm sure he'd have some insider information from things that had happened, back when Caroline was managing the Lancaster Fruitville Pike store. But never mind that. No, I don't really think it's her in particular. I think she was compelled by Walmart law, basically, like Walmart internal code, or whatever it's called, bylaws, to do that. I mean, I bet you she was talking with the other management, and they advised her to do it, and she probably had some reservations, and then one of them, probably muscled her into it because they go to a really strict church, and they probably can't even tolerate the Beatles or John Lennon or any of the Motown groups or anything like that, because they think it's sinful. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Woman, I can hardly express my mixed emotions and my thankfulness.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? The irony was, when I was at Palmyra Walmart, Manager Barry had gaslighted me. She was trying to get me not to report being stalked in the parking lot and around the store, and also an actual terrorist attack, which was disguised as somebody cutting a limb of a tree at 9 p.m. how can somebody be cutting a limb of a tree at 9 p.m. and it just so happens to cut off the power to the entire Londonderry Square shopping center, and and also the cable supply to the 40 Winks Inn where I was staying, and it was clear to me that these people were trying to get revenge, for me talking about the Big Bang Theory, which was a show that I liked and was watching on that very TV in that hotel room, which I was using to keep the Palmyra Walmart job. But but of course, these people are just so religious that they don't believe that that KKK exists. They don't believe that hate groups exist, and and that is actually kind of Christianity that they profess, unfortunately. And so for those of you who are coming to this country, maybe like a 50 years late and waking up to the reality of how people are nice now, and not like, conquistadors or something like that. Yeah. Our churches are not as strict anymore. And we listen to rock and roll and even rap from the 90s, like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and stuff like that, because we know it's a joke. But the thing is, y'all who are seemingly new to this country, or new to the past, like 70 years of this country, why are you voting for Trump? I mean, it's like anyway. So, let's see. Oh yes, and of course that includes immigrants from the country of New York City. Who have unceremoniously landed in Reading, Lancaster, Lebanon, Allentown, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, everybody's wondering why the prices are going up to New York prices. Well, I guess it's, the development sorcerers that followed them, and of course, the developers are just buying out all these smaller governments with their money. Oh, they're like, this is so much simpler than paying off New York officials, because New York officials know how to be corrupt usually. Oh my God, somebody who actually cares about the people? We don't want that. Okay. All right. Okay, my best Xmas wishes to the Ephrata Walmart Asset Protection Team / Ephrata Walmart Management, who went that extra mile to trespass me as a valued developmentally disabled shopper from every Walmart location right before Thanksgiving. May your Yule tree ignite brightly, and may you call the Ephrata PD to rush over with buckets of water to put it out. Perhaps your fascist ass kissers will be as efficient at dousing the flames as they were at wrongfully evicting me from off your property. Okay. Oh, that's from New York Magazine. Interesting. Huh. Oh, and it's showing a fireplace or a living room or a tree on fire. Oh, well, anyway. Attention WGAL / LNP plus Lancaster Online / Lancaster News / LNC News. Ephrata Walmart works with Ephrata PD to bully developmentally disabled men. Okay. It says, attention Carol Ann / Ephrata Walmart's / Walmart manager. Thank you very much for getting other Walmart stores to gang up on me by informing them that you trespassed me at your store. Now I can't enter any Walmart location, either within the continental U.S., including Puerto Rico or Hawaii. Oh my goodness. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of if Pennsylvania Stands Up ever had a branch in Puerto Rico or Hawaii, I couldn't even walk into one of those. Well done there, fascist. I'm sure you are very proud of yourself right up there in your lofty job. Bet you feel just like a real man. You and all that arrogant, militant feminist pride of yours. It must give you one hell of a thrill to target men who have a developmental disability and stick your local ass-kissing pig cops on them and watch your victim wiggle and squirm and nearly cry as your Gestapo staff all stare him down and stomping his feelings in front of your stale bacon grease cops and your whole store. Perhaps you can get those same pig shit cops to sneak into my apartment and murder me, or perhaps put a little tail of me to murder me someplace out of the street, you Nazi twat. I'm sure they'll do whatever you ask them to. Plus, I'm positive DA Heather Adams will cover all your asses. Because it's really just so easy to gang up on a developmentally disabled man who can't afford an attorney and alter his life by bullying him into a difficult situation. Maggoty Schmuckaroon. What, what does that mean? Okay. Remind me what schmuck means, because I can't remember.
A schmuck is an imbecile, a fuckhead.
Okay. And and cease calling my number. I don't have anything positive to say to your ass on the phone, and quite frankly, that quick, shallow message you left for me on my voicemail lacked empathy and understanding. You're fake. You're only in this for the money, no matter who gets shafted as a result of your unjustified persecution of one of us in your store. And how dare you ban somebody from your store before a major holiday? You make me want to fucking puke. You are without conscience, and I blame you for the ban I incurred at my local Walmart because you ratted me out, you fascist left-hearted imbecile. I'm not letting this fade me into the sunset. Such a frick. You're real tough attacking men with your fairy boy pig ass cops. That's not against men who have a disability in your store, but you ain't shit outside of it. And I hope your Yule tree goes up in flames, you disgusting pagan hypocrite. Oh my God. Speaking of which, I should give my weekly list of phone numbers to block because I get a lot of spam, and I've even made my phone number like public on Facebook in hopes that people will realize that what's her name, the previous owner of this phone number is not at this phone number anymore. I think her name was like Elena Alvarez. Well, she lives somewhere else in the city now, and so it's like, obviously she doesn't have this phone number anymore. But the thing is, it's obvious why she got rid of this phone number because, for some reason everybody's calling this phone number like crazy. So anyway, well, here's a number that called, and I don't know if they left a message or not, but anyway, I would block this number, 610-779-1330. Let's see who else is spamming me. Okay, 717-295-7009. 415-231-1687. 610-871-6468. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Oh, this one says potential spam too. 215-352-7513. 415-231-1687. Let's see. Let's see who else called me that I didn't call them. 484-851-3799. 717-540-6210. Oh, you know what? I might have intended to call them. Never mind that one. Because I did call them. Okay. Did I mention 81? Let's see here. No, not that one. Okay. 877. No, not that one either. Who else? Who else? Let me see. Oh, scam likely from Connecticut. Okay, this one's a good one. 860-362-2520. Yeah, definitely block that number. Okay. Okay, I made a call to these two, so they're good. Um, who else? Oh, 484-494-4931. A lot of 484 numbers for some reason automatically dial this number. And then also, Elena had a lot of friends from Mexico with Mexican prefixes on their numbers. In what's that? What's that thing that they use? WhatsApp. Yeah. So she had a whole bunch of Mexican friends in WhatsApp that just kept sending me messages. And I'm thinking, gee, it would be nice, if they were in Mexico, if they could actually, let me live with them, but um, like for free or for real cheap, but I don't know. Let's see, who else? 484-494-4931. And then this one was an auto dial that kept calling me at first every 2 minutes, then every 10 minutes, then every half hour. 1-888-756-1556. Again, 1-888-756-1556. Block that number. And then 610-321-7922. I'll do one more. 520-536-6130. All right, maybe one more. 484-243-8938. All right, so anyway, hopefully I help some people, block some bad shit. Okay. Okay, you say, my latest People Express project, luggage tags done up in the nearly identical format as the now defunct airline used throughout the 1980s. I worked extremely hard on this project and hope you all like my work. Pictured below is the original tag and my own variants affixed to my preferred luggage of choice, which I enjoy using. Wait a minute. You didn't make all of these yourself, did you?
Oh, yeah, I did, except the original copy.
But okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Then I did the accentuated ones that I colored green with crayon.
Oh, nice. Isn't
that cool? Yeah.
Wow, that is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So Sarasota Bradenton is also called SRQ, you say?
That's the airport code name for Sarasota.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Well, it is quite possible, that say, okay, so Walmart management makes their own rules basically, like, and they would probably say, we're going to use a stricter standard than say even the federal government. So so the thing is, you make a joke about something like international relations or whatever. In theory, the federal government, could order like local police to to go to you and get mad at you or whatever. But and of course that did happen to somebody, to some like Arab immigrant from like New York or something like that a couple years ago, and they actually gave him like a jail sentence for making, quote, a joke about a hazard or a bomb or something like that. Yeah, so they gave him a jail sentence. But the thing is, obviously Walmart can't put you in jail. But the thing is, they want to do with what's in their power, which is to ban you from their personal property, because essentially they are their own government as much as the United States deregulates their line of work, if you will.
Right. So, I lost track. I can't remember if you went through it already, but I had I made a wisecrack about suggesting to the manager that she work with the effort of police to sneak into my apartment and murder me. Did you read that yet?
Yes, I did. I did read that. Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Essentially, what I did was I flew a psychological B-52 over her ass, and I dropped my payload. I was extremely fucking mad, and I'm not doing well, too. I'm really not.
Yeah.
You know that. And it's just really affected me, and it's given me a complex. Every time I go out, I just feel, I feel that, I feel targeted. I don't know any other way to put that.
Yeah.
And it hurts me a great deal. Because I know I'm not going to change. I'm not going to do that. Why should I? Where does it say that I'm? I mean, I don't. I'm not going to change at all for anybody. So it's just I feel like I just feel targeted, and I feel like.
But I mean, you felt a lot of this your whole life, much like Richard has, right? I mean, like that there are still some people in this country who would like to see us, face a firing squad for being disabled. And then there are some people, who teach their young children, to bully our kind because they want to, eliminate the weak and the stupid and stuff like that. And they think, that just because they have a huge gang of them, hurting us really badly, and whatever, or hoping that we, kill ourselves or whatever, that they've won and proved that they are smarter, that they are better, whatever, and the thing is, what really bothers me is when a person of color or a white woman will do that, as if they don't know the source of this kind of thing, comes from, white supremacists. And of course I kept trying to tell Charles's family, there's people who are like so much more conservative than you are that you couldn't stand them, and Charles's family is only Tea Party. They're not outright, like neo-Nazis or any of the hate groups mentioned by SPLC. But anyway, but that's the thing, though. Even with Charles's privilege as having, Mennonite heritage or whatever, and going to a Trumpian politically correct church, if you will, or at least anti-Obama politically correct church, because that's why the Tea Party was started to challenge Obama. Anyway, even though he has all that privilege, they would still probably want to put him in front of a firing squad as well. I mean, the diehard Trump supporters. So the thing is, obviously Trump himself is not that far right, but but his followers, if they ever get, some of those high positions, they're going to do dirty things on his behalf in his name that he didn't authorize. And if he is acting as the Saturnine version of God, then it's like that Bible verse where it says, I did not tell you to do XYZ, and you still did XYZ, and but the key thing is, a lot of the occultists in the background, they're like, should we suddenly give him an advantage, and just destroy the opposition because we can, or should we suddenly destroy him and then give the other side the advantage and then buy seats within the other side? So the thing is, this third side is playing both sides. Anyway, okay, you say, fuck American televised sports. There ain't nobody who will ever justify to me how one single man is cleared to make so much money for spending any amount of time in a boxing ring. In my view, this sports scam is all part of a corrupt system vastly skewed in favor of the wealthy, whilst we the people get price gouged and dicked over at our local grocery stores and suffer paying excessively high rent. This country is great, sure, but only of ya happy ass made it like some only if you happy ass made it like some stuck up gay boy who hits a ball with a bat, or some little Mr. Mouth, who puts on some gloves and throws hands with his opponent in front of a camera. Hypocrite trash. So those of you who get off on sucking that nice, big, wealthy, golden, rich boy cock, keep sucking that. That's your hobby. Tastes real good, don't it? Yeah. You love that nice, sweaty, greasy, rich dick cheese flavor, don't you, boy? We, on the other hand, are the better position in our hurting hole land. Don't go that way. You feel me? So be a good, obedient little ass kisser of American media, and I hope it tastes good. Keep big sports and business whilst your neighbor is in that stanky ass financial toilet bowl. Hypocrites. Jake Paul made $92 million for 989 seconds of work. 6 rounds in, he got knocked out. That's just over 16 minutes of actual fight. Blah, blah, blah. What?
You believe that shit? He made that much fucking money, him?
Yeah.
Well,
because there's idiots like Kevin Martin who lives in Colombia who watches that kind of shit. All he watches is that big dick boy kind of stuff, you know. Even though he claims to be a trans woman, you know. Yeah. Kevin Martin, also known as Raya now. Yeah. And of course, widely celebrated by his AAA Alpha Alcoholics Anonymous group. And by the way, I was harassed out of the Adult Children of Alcoholics group at the Shillington location by a member of a church that I believed to be affirming, the Burke's Unitarian Universalist Church, as well as just about everybody else in the room, came up with some really innuendoed, harassing statement about my personal information, particularly conversations that I had with Sergey before, who is now going as Enigma and has claimed that he might go back to being Sergey, but at some point he was Kira and was identifying as a trans woman, and now he's like, oh, you don't know how special I am, you know, you don't know how special my group from the Malvern Hospital is, you know. I saw that mountain and it makes me super special, so I can just shit on you, Chris. You're worthless to me now because of the mountain of Malvern and the holy LGBT people, you know. Anyway, that's his attitude, and like, and obviously, you remember when I played that clip of him for you know, me arguing with him, and the thing was, he didn't understand half the stuff I was saying. And I wasn't speaking in KKK double talk, you know.
You said, do you love the Bible? Do you love the Bible?
Yeah, I know. Well, see, that's the thing, you know. He wants to be special, so he identifies as Jewish. Didn't get any blood test to prove it, he thinks
how do you prove that you're Jewish in a blood test? What do you see? Microscopic
no.
Stars in your blood?
No. It's the haplogroup. Let me the maternal haplogroup. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, what maternal
yellow fucking stars floating in your blood?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh boy.
But see, the only reason why he really identified as Jewish is just so that he could be more special and more victim than everybody else, which is an insult to actual Jews or people who have been raised Jewish, is what I'm arguing. All right, so it says there isn't one single maternal haplogroup that proves Jewishness, but certain haplogroups, especially within the K family, K1A, 1B, 1A, K1A9, K2A2A, and N1B, are found at high frequencies in Ashkenazi Jews and are rare in non-Jewish Europeans, suggesting strong Ashkenazi maternal ancestry. These specific subclades of K and N1B point to a common female ancestor from the Near East who expanded into Europe with the Jewish people, forming key, quote, founder lineages for Ashkenazi communities. Interesting. Founding mothers, they sometimes call them. Yeah. All right. Oh, it says important considerations, not exclusive. Carrying these haplogroups doesn't guarantee you're Jewish, as some individuals outside Jewish communities might have. Now, Sergei's hypothesis was that because he was circumcised, he was Jewish, and he is with the assumption that Russia bans circumcision because I guess in Russia it's only considered a religious practice according to what Sergei believes. Okay, let's Google that. Does Russia believe that circumcision is only a religious practice? There we go. Yes, in Russia, circumcision is largely viewed through a religious or cultural lens, especially for Jewish men who were historically denied the practice under Soviet rule, leading to a strong resurgence as a vital marker of Jewish identity and community. While not a state-mandated religious requirement for the general population, Russia's Jewish community sees it as a crucial religious commandment mitzvah to reconnect with their heritage, often performed as adult procedures due to Soviet suppression, with specialized surgeons now dedicating to fulfilling this demand. Okay, says Russia has a full-time surgeon whose only job is circumcising. Wow. Okay. Says during the Soviet period, Jewish religious practices, including circumcision, were suppressed and effectively outlawed unless for a clear medical reason, leaving many Jewish men uncircumcised. But does that mean most Russians are uncircumcised? Holy shit.
Chris, why won't you let me watch your circumcision?
Yeah. Okay. Does Russia do medical circumcision for all babies or for all males? Yeah, there we go. No, Russia does not perform medical circumcision for all males. It's not a universal state practice like in some countries, but rather a cultural/religious custom mainly for Jewish males. Okay, well, then I guess I'm wrong. But the thing is, I told Sergei that he could have had the free birthright trip, and he refused to take it because he couldn't support Israel. Well, these days you get whatever you can take because soon everything's going to be gone. Everything that we know of is going to be gone. They're going to try and basically bulldoze everything that was, and all you'll have is memories of freedom.
God, I hate when people park outside my building and just sit there with the lights on and the engine running. That makes me so nervous. I hate that.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what people have, I believe people have done to me to intimidate me too. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Welcome to the Effort Police Department, better known in Lancaster County as Gestapo HQ. They specialize in targeting developmentally disabled men to be trespassed for grocery stores, such as their main place of persecution, the effort of Walmart. Because whenever this building full of dicks wants to get themselves off, they ride over in multiple squad cars, surround the victim, need him for personal information before they bully him off property. Schmuckaroons. Mooky McMookerson is at Church of Satan. It is such a shame that Michael Jackson perished in his sins and died as a wealthy pedophile. Because at the very moment his soul left his body, it was dragged into hell by those same loving beings, which he thought were people he knew, but instead were demons who dragged him into his final home. Too bad you die a kitty should live pedophile, you spend eternity in that place your dumbass was too afraid to have it exist. Don't play. Oh geez. Oh, did you take a look at some of the photos that they got from the Epstein files? Holy crap.
I think some of them. Mm-hmm.
Well, wait a minute. This might have been one of the ones that was shared by like the media. So I mean, better have the media sort through it than us waste our time clicking on every single thing instead of just having an arrow button for all of them in a row. Okay. Trump government shamelessly abdicated its responsibility for effectively housing our own legal homeless citizens. Uh, okay. Fascist Cicero Institute arrogantly pushing concentration camp concept for Utah homeless people. Oh wow, that's wild. Well, everything about United States is pretty much Roman. I mean, they just made it New Rome, which also essentially makes it New Israel as well. But yeah, never mind that. um, as I tried to explain to to my cousin the other day, essentially, if if the powers of Jesus were transferred to Peter, that means Peter is not only king of the Jews but also king of the Romans, and therefore, so is every pope, which is also every Caesar, blah 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 blah, and then the the son of the pope is also a king in old Europe, and then of course the dukes and lords and everybody beneath the king, including down to the magistrates and so on. This also follows the order of some of the demons related to like the Ars Gotia and stuff like that. But anyway, um, and and so everybody beneath the king, all the way down to the bottom, could be the son of God or the son of the son of God or the son of the son of the son of God, and then and then therefore also God, also having the God powers, also essentially being conceptually Jewish, if you will. So, but that's the other troubling thing. It also means that if Christianity was a branch of Judaism and the powers of Judaism have been transferred to Christianity, that means Christians are a type of Jewish, if you will, like a conceptual Jewish, if not fully Jewish, but as we like to say in astrology, the favored or Jupiterian people of the age, so to speak. But that's why it's supposed to be a mystery, because no group that people have established actually, establishes that somebody is inherently lucky. And of course, that's why the people who were lucky before, like the boomers, they're trying just to hold on desperately to their money and spending tons more money on lawyers to try and prevent their kids from getting their money, and and also to try and prevent anybody they don't like from secondhand getting their money through the taxes that they paid to the government. And of course, the taxes barely, cover anything that's necessary to support people like those very people who will also become disabled and dependent on on those benefits as well. So, you know, it's like these people think they'll escape aging forever and and get to take their money with them, and 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 be seen as the most kind, loving parents, or whatever authority they have. You know,
Isn't it queer?
yes, 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 yep. Mhm. Oh, and that's the thing. Socioeconomic status by certain possessions also confers a certain amount of authority. So you got um, the job over $50,000. The you know uh, these are things that can be changed. Unlike the six pack and the 6 foot tall, and stuff like that. We're talking about the 5 room house in the suburbs with at least 3 bathrooms. Um, um, New construction, not a historic home in a traditional town space, just sprawling out, and has like a 30-mile drive to get to an actual, you know, shopping district or whatever. Um, Completely car dependent, um, to keep everybody poor out, uh, and and um, maybe not covenantal, maybe not racial deed restrictions, but the price itself is is like desirable and diamond enough or apple enough to make people basically want to scare some people out and or jack the price up from like $200,000 per house to $500,000 per house, uh, so that the school can keep its reputation and do everything it can, to keep people from lower socioeconomic classes from from having the benefit of that level of education. But that's besides the fact that in general, without a huge lot of money and a huge lot of discretionarily personal exploration for each student, school is basically a prison. It was the son of Will Smith who said that. Anyway.
My, it's so weird, Chris.
So anyway, you say, make no mistake, Almighty God might have his day, but until that day comes, shall never cease doing battle with my enemies. Period, and I shall make it hurt. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Okay. All right, you write. Attention, effort, a Chamber of Commerce. It's okay to phase out your EPD. They're no good anyway. Nobody needs a fascist police department. Attention, effort, PD. I wish you a Merry Xmas of getting grilled by hot tempered judge for official police corruption. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the thing is, the rules of evidence in Pennsylvania are really strict, and so it wouldn't give them it shouldn't give them a case against you, if you get mad at them publicly, but it also won't give you a case against them.
Yeah, I know, but since I get hurt in that whole affair, I don't give a damn. But it's like people why I'm upset. So
it's like most of the time. Okay, most of the time they tell us you only really get rights to defend yourself if you're actually a criminal. But the thing is, they just want to make life difficult for you. I'm not talking about police in particular. I'm talking about people in general. Some people want to make life difficult for you without ever actually making the report, because as soon as they make the report, that's on them if they get anything wrong, and they don't really want to read the law.
Yeah.
Because they don't actually have that time. The only people who would actually have time to do that kind of crap are people who actually made it in the law field, and of course defected to Heritage or the Federalist Society or other Trump supporting organizations, or people who are perpetually online, like the guys who like ever since they turned 12 or 13 or whatever have always just been playing video games and could easily direct their focus away from the video games and towards the legal profession without having to become lawyers at all. They could get to know the law better. I mean, the law which applies to most of us, which is used the most frequently, whereas a lot of those lawyers that are in the top firms and stuff like that, they'll probably just be mostly defending people with large estates and corporations and stuff like that, which makes them actually set far apart from, actual people, if you will. I mean, common people in this country. But then the thing is, they practically, okay, so they haven't declared you a criminal, but they've given you a letter of trespass. So the thing is, that's their easy way out. They because the federal government gives them rights as a person, it means that when you're going against Walmart, you're actually going against a person with rights who has a grievance against you, as if there's some kind of white supremacist neo-Nazi or something like that, who thinks that you're stealing something from them, like abstract. So like not literally being a thief of a physical object, but like they think you're removing some of their social capital.
Stealing their thunder.
Yes, but by attracting attention to yourself. See, that's the real thing that they could have potentially got you on, because at every Walmart they have a sign that says, you're not allowed to do any form of solicitation. So the thing is, so the thing is, they could have accused you of promoting yourself, but that wouldn't have been strong enough for them to ban you. So I think that the ban was made for a religious reason, and I think it wasn't. I think it wasn't Carol Ann who wanted to do it. I think it was one of the under management, possibly that one who had the pink cell phone that you took a picture of. Yeah.
Well, as Nixon once said,
see, she probably what she probably did is she probably used her street smarts, her ghetto knowledge to go to the store manager and explain the law to her. Because of course, ghetto people have to deal with the law all the time. No surprise. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's funny because my variant of the law states that it is illegal and a civil rights violation to target somebody based upon the fact that they're different, that they have a developmental disability.
Right, but the thing is, I think the key is, like the KKK, they thought that everybody agreed with them there because everybody either was of that same strict religious sect, or everybody could be swayed to that one belief within that particular religious sect, and so it would be seen as an anomalous belief to those who were outside of it. Although excluding you would have been integral to that uber strict belief system.
Yeah. Don't be an Untermensch, be an Ubermensch.
Okay. You say, fact, after Walmart, the only store which persecuted me for my developmental disability, all other locations gladly accept me, fascist pricks. What's the monocle for?
What's the way?
Well, you have a smiley that's wearing a monocle. The one lens over the one eye instead of glasses.
It's like I meant to come across like I was looking at the situation
quizzically.
Closely.
Yeah. Like looking through a microscope, if you will. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, not a microscope. just one lens, just to come across like I'm looking at a topic very closely.
Yes. Saying, investigatory. Yes, investigatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emasculatory.
Yes. Okay, your next post. My latest airline project, People Express play cards. After 2 days of hard, tedious work, I finally successfully completed my latest addition to my main Eastern Airlines repertoire. I'm so proud of all the intense hard work which I invested into this project, and it was so well worth it. Colored duct tape is the shiznit's homie. Love it, and I am so grateful that my local Walmart usually maintains a decent stockpile of my favorite colors that I may keep turning out such good quality work. From now on, to whatever business I go out to when I need to use the lavatory, I'm going to make use of my lavatory play card. And whenever I head out to the restaurant, I'm setting my new PEX play card, PEX play card on the table where everybody can have a good look at my unique creativity. I'm proud of my hard work, and I'm proud to be a creative OSPE, period. Yes. Okay. And of course, they wanted to cut you off from the things that mean most to you, and of course, make an enemy out of Walmart in relation to you. So, so they created a third party, I believe, created a form of relational violence against you, using Walmart unbeknownst as a proxy, essentially.
Right.
Because who would want to get rid of a loyal customer from Walmart? But that's why I was saying, you take what you can get until nobody has any rights at all. So that's why I said, go ahead and, make a report to the EEOC or whatever. I mean, talk to all the organizations that I sent you links for, because the thing is, because a lot of people had flipped over to Trump, you're more likely to have a case now as what appears to be a white male, if you will. I mean, I would love to sue, like, at least 5 or 6 different people from, the past 40 years or so of my life, to be honest, if I could. I mean, and that's why I also said, they don't scrap any records to my knowledge. So, like, even if you don't have a case, and even if it's irrelevant to what the agency asks for, you might as well, I don't know, record the conversation, because they probably record conversations too, and then you might as well, submit this sort of stuff, to EEOC or whatever, and and then it'll be in the record for somebody to discover, like 50 years later, and then figure, oh, geez, we should have learned something from this, Yeah. Yeah.